Hey friends, we made it to Friday, and what a week it's been. So glad that you're here with me on the KidMin Word. I'm Ryan Frank, and before we finish unpacking Acts chapter 2, I just want to take a moment and look back, because I don't want you to miss what God's actually shown us over these past 3 weeks in Acts chapter 2. We started Acts 2 with the Spirit arriving, that upper room, the wind, the fire, the ordinary people suddenly speaking in languages that they had never learned, because God himself had shown up among them. And then we moved into the Spirit speaking. Peter standing up in front of that crowd with boldness that just wasn't natural to him. And 3,000 people respond and are baptized that afternoon. And then this week, we've watched what happens after the wind settles and the sermon ends. We've watched the Spirit shape a community. Monday, we saw them devoted to each other and to the teaching and the breaking of bread and fellowship. Tuesday, we saw them filled with awe, verse 43. They were just filled with awe at the wonders that they didn't manufacture themselves. And then Wednesday, verse 44 and 45, they start selling their possessions and meeting the needs of the community. And then yesterday, we saw them living in both the temple courts and in the homes every single day with glad and sincere hearts. Now that's where we've been. We've had the arrival, the proclamation, the community, and now today we get the result of it all. Verse 47 says that the people were praising God and having favor with all the people. And the Lord added to their number day by day those who were being saved. I want you to notice what this verse doesn't say. It doesn't say that they added a strategic outreach initiative. It doesn't say that they launched a new teaching series, right, to reach the surrounding neighborhoods. They didn't hire a growth consultant. They didn't rebrand. It says they were praising God. They were having favor with all the people, and the Lord added to the numbers day by day. The growth wasn't something that they engineered. The Lord added to their numbers day by day. And it's a result of who they had become in verses 42 through verse 46 that we've been studying this week. And I think this is the piece that so many of us in ministry leadership need to hear right now, especially those of us who feel the pressure of numbers every single week. Growth, real kingdom growth, get this, is downstream of devotion, downstream of awe, downstream of generosity, downstream of doing life with each other in the temple courts and in homes. The early church wasn't a marketing case study. They were a people so devoted to God and to each other that outsiders looked in and saw something that they wanted themselves. And God kept adding people to the family. And you know what? They were received well. And here's what that means for you and for your ministry. If you want God to add to your numbers, the invitation isn't, well, let's do more outreach, though outreach matters. The invitation is become the kind of community that we read about and we've been studying this week in verses 42 through 46, right? And when that happens, the Lord will add daily to your numbers. Let God do what only he can do. And you and I, let's stay faithful to who we are and who God has called us to be. Let's stay faithful to verse 42, to the teaching and fellowship and breaking of bread and prayers, making those daily rhythms a part of our life. And that's the whole passage of Acts 2. And honestly, that's the whole heartbeat of Acts chapter 2 and really the book of Acts. God shows up. God speaks. And you know what? God does what only he can do because of a group of people that just said yes. You know, before I go, I just want you to know that we're praying for you. And as you go into this weekend, whether you're tired, whether you're refueled, you know, wherever you're at in your life right now, I am praying that those kids in your ministry will be filled with awe, right? And that God will do what only he can do and that he will add to your numbers day by day. Hey, thanks for walking through Acts chapter 2 with me. We've been in Acts 2 for 3 weeks. And guess what? Next week, we're going to jump into Acts chapter number 3. I don't know how long it's going to take us to get through the book of Acts, but I'm happy to be studying every day with you. So have a great weekend, my friends, and we'll see you back here next Monday.